Yes, guys, my name's Callum Dunlop, Callum Dunlop Fitness, as you can see, and I'm going to be posting a new video every single day on something to do with personal development, on how to become a better man. I wish I had this information a couple of years ago when I was first starting out on my personal development journey. And the aim of this is I want to help my younger self because I know some of the problems that I face. There's other young men out there who are going through the same problems. So let's just get right into it. Today is going to be about how to reinvent yourself. Usually, when you start off on your personal development journey, you're going to potentially be working in a job that you don't like, doing things that maybe you know that you shouldn't be doing, and just all round that you know that you could be doing better in your life. And there'll come a stage where you want to reinvent yourself. You want to become the new person that you know that you can be, and this desire of who you're trying to become. So let's kind of get right into it. So when you first start off on the personal development journey, and I know myself when I first started out, people who are around you when you first start off start doing the different things that you aren't usually doing. Like, for example, for me it was always going out partying every weekend, taking drugs. And then I started to do that less and less and less, and started doing the things that were adding value to my life and not taking away from my life, not taking value away from my life, sorry. And when I first started that, people always had like negative things to say, and it's because they still label you as the person that you used to be when you're trying to change yourself. So if they see that you're making this conscious effort of, or you're stopping doing the bad habits, or you're going to the gym a little bit more, or you're starting that business that you always spoke about and said that you were going to do, they still see you as that same person, as the person that they knew when they first met you. And they'll start to say negative things like, oh, you could never do this. But one of the best things that you can do is just work in silence. For example, if you're shouting out to everyone who you're around saying that I'm going to achieve this by X date, or I'm going to lose this amount of weight, or I'm going to put on this amount of muscle, or I'm going to make this amount of money, then everyone knows what you're trying to do. And if you don't achieve it by a certain time frame, then that's when people start like negatively self-talking about your journey. And then it's going to put self-doubt in your head, and you don't really need to experience that. So the best thing to do is kind of work in silence, and then they're going to notice you making this conscious effort. And if they are real friends who are around you at that time, they'll support you on the journey. But then you'll realize people start to talk down about you, as it makes them insecure about their own life. So the people who are being negative and have something to say about seeing you on this personal development journey, the only reason why they're speaking like this about you is because it's making them feel insecure, as they know they should be doing the things that you are. I've heard this amazing saying, and it's so true. Hate never comes from above. If you're in this position, one of the best things that you can do is potentially move away from the place that you were living when you were making the mistakes. So going back a little bit in history, when I was 18, I was living in Belfast. I was partying a lot, taking drugs, hanging around with the wrong people, and I moved to Manchester, where I currently live now. And this is the thing: moving away can either have a positive impact or a negative impact. And I have a lot of love for Manchester because it's made me the person that I am today, but also kind of broke me because when I first came to Manchester, I ended up moving here and doing all the things that I was doing in Belfast anyway. And that's because I was in the uni environment. So, like, I was in the uni environment, and then obviously you're surrounded by alcohol, drugs constantly. Everyone's going out like 3, 4 times a week. So, what I would say is if you are going to move away, go to somewhere where it's a place that someone's already doing what you're trying to achieve. So move somewhere where all the negative things that you're trying to get away from aren't as present, and go to somewhere where they're already doing what you want to achieve. When you move away, you get a complete new perspective on life anyway, because you're moving somewhere where not anyone, like not everyone knows you again. So you're going to learn all these new things, and you've got to learn how to adapt and overcome the challenges of moving to a new place, because it can be scary. You've got to put yourself out there, meet new friends, start conversations that you wouldn't usually have to do in somewhere that you're so comfortable with. But the good thing is as well, you get a complete second chance at life, because all these new people who you meet, they only meet this version of you in the present moment. They don't know all the mistakes that you have made in the past. So they know you just as, say, for example, Callum, the fitness influencer. So they don't know all the mistakes that I made in the past a few years ago. So you get a second chance at life, and you can move away and do exactly what you want to do, instead of like living that life that you were trying to get away from, like the 9 to 5, working too much, the drink, the drugs. So yeah, moving away can have such a positive impact on trying to reinvent yourself. But also, you got to choose wisely then when you move away. Who you decide to become is completely up to you. You're the only one that can make it happen, but you're also the only person who can mess it up. Going back to like what I said before, when I first moved to Manchester, I ended up just doing all the things that I was doing anyway, that I moved here to get away from. But then, like, I hit rock bottom, and I completely reinvented myself. So I love this place. But if I was to move away, and I do have plans to move away for sure, I want to go and potentially live out in Thailand. So when I go there, I'm going to be putting myself in and around the circles of people who are doing better than me, making better content than me, training as hard as me, and trying to be the best version of themselves. We all know the saying, you're the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. You want to put yourself in rooms that people are doing better than you, so you strive to be like them. So you're constantly always trying to be the best version of yourself. Like I said, I've reinvented myself, and I became worse off. But in life, you got to look at these things of, you can either use it as an excuse to say, oh, well, all these bad things happen to me, so I can never achieve the best version of myself, or you can use it as fuel to the fire to keep pushing you forward. So choosing your circle wisely is also another key thing that we got to make sure that we're doing. You aren't going to see any success in your life if you're hanging around with people who are always wanting to party. I don't know what your goals are, but most of my audience is always about people who are trying to be the best version of themselves. They're trying to escape the life that they used to live. Usually had the same problems as me, hanging around with people who are adding no value to their life, indulging in habits that are also taking away their creativity and not helping them be the best version of themselves. They're slacking in the gym, they're eating like shit, they're just constantly going down the wrong path, living in the present moment, but always feeling like they can achieve more. So one of the best things I ever did was invest in a community. I invested in my mentor. Shout out to Tony McAlevey and Stephen Cheevers at the Coaches Mentorship. And that was something that kept me accountable to move forward. I knew with me paying the money every single month, and we have our weekly calls, that I had to, each week I had something to turn up to that I had to beat from the previous week. And like I said, this is a community of coaches who are doing exactly what I want to do. And I'm seeing all these people posting wins all the time. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can definitely do this. So it was great to be surrounded by like-minded people. And don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. And I am a firm believer, guys, the last one, this is the most important one, as the most important one of all. Spend time with people who are into fitness. If you notice, most young entrepreneurs who are successful, they're always in good shape, aren't they? Being in the gym is the best thing that you can do for your mind and just your health in general. I'm a firm believer. If your body is not being looked after, your energy levels are going to be down the drain. You're constantly feeling tired. It's the best decision that you will ever do. I will always be dedicated to fitness. I hope I am that guy who is absolutely jacked at 60. So I hope you guys find some value in that. Make sure to keep an eye out for the next one, guys. If you are interested in trying to become the best version of yourself, Follow me on all platforms. My main one is Callumdunlopfitness _ on Instagram. And check out the link in my bio on the YouTube. If you feel like you're a young man that wants to achieve more and wants to be in the best version of themselves, fill in my application form if you want to work with me, and you can become like one of the hundreds of guys that I'm helping at the moment be the best version of themselves. So see you on the next one, guys.